Jeff Landry, good enough to join us tonight. He is the governor of Louisiana, Republican in that state, live with us from the North Lawn of the White House. Hello, Governor. Good evening. Thanks for being with us.
Good evening. Thank you for having me.
Of course. So I wonder, sir, what really changes with all this? Because as you know, there is not a national curriculum standard. It's not like the decisions of curriculum come from Washington. I just heard the president say things like federal student aid, Office for Civil Rights, the Office of Special Education and Rehabilitative Services. Those are going to move to other agencies within the federal government. We know that there's going to be layoffs at the Department of Education. So is that really the only change tonight?
No, I don't think so. I mean, in all the discussions that we've had with the president, that being governors, he has just made it clear that what he wants to do is send the money directly to the states and let us utilize that money in the best way we see fit. Look, America works best when states are acting independently and that the instructions are not coming from Washington, D.C. What I've heard a lot in a lot of the questioning that I've gotten today is that it seems as though people don't realize the amount of federal funding that pours into our state with all kind of strings attached. What we want is that money unfettered and our ability to place that in the classroom where it belongs, keeping focus on two people, parents, which are the most important voice in a child's education, and students, and teachers, who are the most important person in those child's education.
So your state, 19.5%, so let's call it about 20%, one in every $5 or so, comes from the federal government when it comes for, as it relates to education. I got to imagine, Governor, there might be some parents sitting back tonight saying, wait a minute, how do we know that money is still going to flow, that we're going to still get every single penny, every single dollar that we need? How would you reassure them?
Well, look, President Trump has been a president who has done this more than any other president before him in promises made and promises kept. I've never had the president promise us something that he hasn't kept his word on. The question is whether Congress will give us the flexibility needed to ensure and rest assured that those parents whose child is relying on those dollars are going to get those dollars. Look, what we know is that every dollar Congress sends to the Department of Education, only say 50 cents or 60 cents or 70 cents ends up in our state. What we want is the whole dollar.
Governors, I spoke to Josh Green. You know him well. He's a Democrat from Hawaii. And I asked him, I said, you know, this is a unique situation because you got a Republican in the White House basically saying, okay, let's empower some Democratic governors. And here's what the governor from Hawaii said to me last week when I spoke to him about this, and I want to get your reaction on the other side.
No, I'll take it. You know, I spent time with the president a couple of weeks ago with all the other governors. If that money flows to we governors, we'll make good use of it.
So he said, yeah, I'll take it. And Governor, I guess it gets to the question, what about the concept of, okay, a Republican president saying, you know what, let's empower some Democratic governors? Do you take issue with that?
No, I don't, because I think that this president is answering the call of the American people, and he's transcending across party lines. Look, we don't mind competing with other governors. In fact, I was with Josh Green in the White House when the president talked about that. That's how this country is supposed to work. 50 states, 50 laboratories of experiment, giving us an opportunity to see if we can educate our kids better than what has happened in the past. We know that America is failing our kids and our educational system is dismal when compared to other countries. Give us an opportunity and let us compete.
All right, we got to leave it there. He is the governor of the state of Louisiana, Jeff Landry, with us tonight here on the Hill. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.